Hi, Lynette. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you?
Hi
How are you? I'm
there.
trying
Good.
to make my background look okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to interview with us today and introduce you to our audience. And this is Lynett Muhaso, and she will be the first featured pattern designer in my membership featuring quilters of color. So welcome, Lynette.
Thank you.
So how have you been today?
Oh, all right. Just busy with the kids as usual. Hot and
Yeah.
muggy. Yeah, it's quite hot and muggy here as well, which doesn't help. So
Oh,
yeah,
um,
I
what's
just
the
woke up on the
temperature?
wrong side.
What's the temperature there in Australia?
Oh, it's 30, I think, today.
What is that in
No idea.
your
We're Celsius.
yeah,
So I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit.
just
It's
just
hot.
hot.
Yeah, it's really hot. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
I was expecting rain and thunder and no, nothing came.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's get going. So our featured pattern for the month of January and February is the Ella Vista quilt by Lynette, which you can see back there on your ladder. We get a sneak of that. And is the next one your
That's hook and pop.
yeah, I really
Yeah.
like that. Really
Oh,
like
thank
that a
you.
lot.
Yeah, one of my fave.
Oh,
Love it.
so how long have you been quilting?
Started, caught the bug, I think almost 8 years ago now, and I
Mhm.
haven't stopped since.
Oh,
Just I was asked to make a quilt because this lady found out that I sewed. And she's like, oh, can you make a quilt for a baby shower present? I'm like, yeah, sure. I had no idea what that was. Quickly Googled, made something up, and here we go. She loved it.
oh,
Recipient loved it. I caught the bug. Haven't stopped
yeah.
since.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just self-taught and
Yeah.
yeah. Same
Yeah.
with me. It's
Yeah.
fun
It's the best
though.
kind.
Yeah. So what do you what's like your quilting style? What's your favorite? I see you do a lot of curves.
I do curves. I try and do some like straight line stuff as well, but I think I'm pretty drawn to more curvy stuff. See how the year goes, but I think that's like where I'm being drawn and led to more the hearty stuff. But I like bright, bubbly, anything with color.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what it looks like. I like different shapes as well. So it's not really the traditional, my brain can't compute, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, something that's just fun, happy, out there. Well, not really out there, but kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's so unique. The first time I saw it, I was like, wow, this is so cool. So I
I
hadn't
love
seen anything like that before. So that's really kind of cool. So do you feel like where do you get your inspiration from? Do you feel like you have designers or certain designers that you like that you kind of get inspiration from or just from what's around you?
Like I see quilt patterns everywhere. Like I look at something, I'm like, oh, that can be a quilt pattern. So anything, it can be the way a leaf is sitting or my daughter playing with a Lego, and I'm like, oh, there's something there. So I see patterns everywhere, and I
Yeah.
think if I can make it, I will try and figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
so it comes from everywhere. Like when I look at other quilt designers, yeah, I like this stuff, but it's more to see, oh, this is what other people are doing. But I quite like just coming up with random stuff from
Yeah.
anywhere. It can be a gate, it can be a road sign, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? There's a hospital that sign that I always drive by and I look, I'm like, oh, that'd make kind of a neat quilt,
Yeah,
you know? So yeah, it's
that's
like
me.
inspiration is everywhere.
That's me all the time. Like when I'm watching my kids' shows, oh, can you pause that for a bit? Let's take a photo.
Yeah.
I'm always taking pictures of something. Even my 7-year-old, almost 8-year-old, has gotten into that as well. Oh, mom, that can be a nice quilt pattern. So yeah, it's
Oh,
everywhere.
they're so helpful, aren't they?
Very. So
And
it's really like anything.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
2 kids, 2 and 8 year old. I'll say she's 8. She's 8 in like 10 days. So 2 and 8
Oh,
year old, both girls.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh-huh. Oh, cool. And so where do you get the names for your patterns? Because I like how you called this one the Ella Vista.
So Ella Vista, I've always wanted to name a quilt after my kids, but they've got quite common names, Lily and Ella. Ella Vista, I was like, oh, Ella, my little one, she's bright, she's bubbly, she enjoys life. When I
Mhm,
created this and the colors, I just thought, oh, it looks like a horizon, but there's lots of quilts called Ella something or Horizon something. And I kind of tried to work with what other words for horizon that I can work with. And Vista
mhm.
came up and I was like, yep, this is
Ah,
quite fitting. So I
oh,
kind of look at, oh, this is the design. What can I, yeah, my names come from the quilt designs themselves more so
uh-huh,
than I'm going to name this quilt pattern this and make it. So I try and when I see it, the name comes up and from there I kind of see like search, no one else has it first or find
mhm.
synonyms so that it's not like circle something. It's
Yeah,
quite yeah different. So I look at my design after it's finished and go, okay, this is the name. Or at times actually how I feel about it when I'm making it kind of
uh-huh,
gets me to name a quilt pattern. That like my scented quilt pattern, it was supposed to be called balance, but there was a lot of balance there. But I
oh,
was going through quite a lot family wise and all that, and centered, like it just centered me. It's just
uh-huh,
how it made me feel when I was making it. And I thought, yeah,
mhm.
that's a fitting name, centered. So it's just, it
Yeah,
depends. Yeah,
yeah.
it really
I know
depends.
it's something that I struggle with. I only have one pattern, but trying to start my next one and figure out, and same thing, I'm like looking on Instagram and
Yeah.
looking up hashtags for names that I'd like. It's like, oh, that's taken,
Yeah.
that's taken, that's taken. So yeah, it's a bit of a struggle.
It is very much so. Like I search synonyms as well. If I really, really want it, I'll find other meanings, other ways to say the same thing without saying, yeah, naming it the same as
Yeah,
someone else. Yeah.
yeah.
But it is really hard. I have one that I'm working on that I can't think of a name, like a fitting name for it. So yeah,
Mhm.
probably it's one of those that I'll ask around, like what people see in it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's a good
yeah,
idea.
yeah, see how
Oh,
it goes.
and how many patterns do you have?
I have 4 that are out, well, 5 now with Ella Vista.
Hmm.
Um, I've got 2 in the works. I started one, but I'm being led a different direction at the moment, isolation inspired.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I've got 2 in the works at the moment. So I think by February I'll have an extra 2 quilt patterns out, or
Oh,
February,
yeah.
March. I don't know, see how it goes.
I
But ones
wonder,
that are out now,
uh-huh.
fine.
Oh, I wonder if there's something called quarantine inspiration or
Oh, I haven't searched. I
somebody.
might do a search. I'm pretty sure there is something like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and how did you get started writing patterns? What made you decide to start writing the patterns for yourself and selling those?
So, like, I come from a dressmaking, not really dressmaking because I never really made the dresses, but I
Mhm.
sew. And even from then, I'd always wanted to come up with my own designs, not sew something that someone else has come. So I've always had that need in me to come up with my own patterns,
The
just not
original.
knowing how to do that.
Yeah.
And when I started quilting, because I saw different patterns for myself instead of using what other people have out there, I wanted to come up with something for my own. So, like years on into my quilting journey, I really like the desire kept coming up. And
Hmm.
last year, is it last year or the year before, I made a decision. It's going to happen. I'm going to just start and see how it goes. And yeah,
Hmm.
I'm happier that way. It's just been something in me that I
Yeah.
need to make something of my own. Like the design has to be something that's
Yeah. All in
me.
that beat that all that creativeness
Yeah,
has to, you want to have a whole hand in the whole start to
exactly.
finish. Oh,
Exactly. And I find more joy doing that than
excuse me.
bless you.
Sorry.
yeah, I find more joy doing that side of things, and yeah, just seeing what I come up with, and that,
Mm-hmm.
that just fills up my love bucket. Like I feel happy doing that. So it's just something that's been in me, and I've just wanted to do it for a long time, and I've finally just thrown caution to the wind and started.
You
And
got
here
to
I
do
am.
it. You just got to do it.
Exactly. And here I am. And I think as well, having kids has given me a different sense of you need to follow your dreams as well, because they copy, like I look at my 2-year-old copying everything that 8-year-old is doing, even saying, and I'm like, hang
Mhm.
on, my 8-year-old is copying me. So if I'm showing them that, oh, I can't do this or I can't be that, then that's who they will be as well. So they've given me a very different outlook on life, and
Yeah.
that drive and desire to just go for it, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, oh well, because I
Yeah.
can't be telling them you need to push for this or aim for that when I'm
Hmm.
not doing the same for myself as well. So that
Yeah.
was the other big reason why I started writing instead of keeping them in my head and
Yeah.
leaving it at
It,
that.
it
That was another
provides
big
it provides them with inspiration too,
yes,
and they're able to say, "Oh, look what mommy's doing. I
exactly.
want to do that."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like my 8-year-old is always telling her friends or teachers, like, my
Oh,
mom's done this, or yeah. So it's quite cute when she's talking about it. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I'm
My
glad.
daughter used to do that when I'd make her Halloween costumes at school and go to the Halloween parties, and she'd like, "Yeah, my mom made it." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I did."
Exactly. It's just so nice, the pride that they have in you. And yeah, it's just, it spurs
Hmm.
me on. Like they're quite good encouragers. So that was one of the other bigger pushes to just start doing it, because they
Yeah.
need to see that I'm aiming for my own dreams than just being mum. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and pushing them to go for theirs as well at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have like a goal of how many quilts you want to, do you have like, oh, I'm going to make this many in a year, or do you just, when the inspiration comes, you just get started?
I've got a minimum, I think my minimum is like 3 or 4 quilts.
Yeah.
Like I have to, that's my minimum. And whatever comes up after that, that's great. But I
Hmm.
think, yeah, because with kids, I don't have any babysitting and all that. I'm it here for my kids. And my
Yeah.
husband, so it's just the two of us. So sharing in between kids, work, playtime, all that. I don't want to put more pressure on myself than necessary. So at
Yeah.
least if I work in quarters, I'm bound to achieve something in 3 months than giving
Uh,
myself like I have to work on one every month, because at this stage it's not going to happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just gave my minimum of at least every 3 months something has to, like I have to have accomplished something in those three
Hmm.
months. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good number. Um,
Without
so do
overwhelming,
you, oh, I'm sorry.
without overwhelming myself, and
Yeah.
yeah, aiming high to fail, which is yeah even worse.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of time, a lot of free time to get your sewing in with your kids and your family?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I just, yeah, fit it in because I feel so bad sewing and not playing with them if they're awake. So most of my sewing time is after they've gone to bed. But at the same time as well, I'm like, oh, my husband, I don't want to neglect him as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, I'll spend a little bit of time with you. Or at times I just go, you know what? I need my time. I'm going to spend the day sewing. If it's a
Yeah.
weekend or my night, I'm done with you guys. You can sort yourselves out. It's my
Yeah.
time. So it just really depends. But yeah, I try and fit it in, like at least an hour a day,
Hmm.
like at night during the
Hmm.
week, and weekends if I can do more, especially when my 2-year-old is sleeping. Yeah, that's like you can do your own thing in that time as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just try and fit it in, because I find if I don't do it at all, I'm not going to be a happy person. So
Yeah.
I have
You
to
need
give
that, you
myself
need
that.
that outlet.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have to put in, even if it's 10 minutes, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
It ends up.
Hmm.
I have to have something. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, a
So
day.
what
Otherwise, I won't be happy.
what kind of machine do you sew on?
I have a Juki 2000.
Now, do those just do straight stitch only?
Yeah, just a straight stitch. Yeah, it was a present to myself because I'd been
Mhm,
using a Janome for like years and years, my basic, very basic, I'm going to start sewing kind of machine. And then I
mhm.
just upgraded to my Juki. I'm kind of debating, did I make a right choice by just the straight line? Because I kind of want different designs as well, but I can't justify buying another one. And so I'm just
Yes.
in the space, but I love it's a good workhorse, that Juki. I love it very
Yeah.
much. Like it, yeah, it makes up for not having the different stitches and designs on it.
Mhm. Oh, that's
Yeah, it's a
good.
very good workhorse. Yeah.
So do you aspire to have your quilts in like quilt shows, or is that something, or to put them, get them in magazines, or is that anything you've thought about?
Yes, I've started now that I'm like really into it and like just being a hobby. I'm starting to and seeing what others out there. I guess that's where the inspiration from other quilters come up as well, like what they've achieved, what they can do with quilting as well. So yeah, definitely magazines. I'm not sure about quilt shows yet. I'm not sure I'm at that standard as yet, but it's something that's on the horizon. But definitely magazines. Just need to get myself out there and yeah, see
Yeah.
what magazine styles fit my style as well that I can fit into.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having a feel of all that. Now that I'm like really getting into it, I'm starting to see, oh, there's a whole world out there and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can probably
Crazy.
get into it as well.
Right. Yeah, I know. I've only been on Instagram for like a year, and I had no idea
Yeah,
what the quilting community was about and how much there is to know and learn, and just it's like a huge
exactly.
world.
It's huge. Yep, I had no idea as well. Like I didn't even know how Insta. Like I remember my friend trying to explain to me that this is what you need to do on Instagram. Like I'm like okay, but it did not even click at all until yeah, I really started getting into it and seeing what other people are doing as well. I'm like oh okay, there's quite
Hmm.
a lot. No, there's a lot, and that's where that inspiration comes from. Seeing what other quilters can do, I can do
Yeah.
as well, and aiming
Yeah.
for that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully I will be in magazines soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, I think your stuff is like great and so unique, but who am I? I am but one person, but I think
Well, my
it's,
daughter thinks the same too. So there's two. So I guess I can do it. I can do it.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely. It's my
So,
go-to. It's my goal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good something to reach for.
Yeah.
Um, so do you have like stuff that you do in your spare time, or do you do, is quilting about all you can handle with any other kind of hobbies or?
At times, yep, just the sewing fills up my spare time, but I've made intentional choices to just to be present for the kids. So if
Hmm.
it's playing out in the backyard, just watching them jump up and down the trampoline, doing a little bit of reading. Like I would love to get back into my reading. I love reading, but I haven't been able to get that time, a good chunk where I can really enjoy
Yeah.
my book. But
Yeah.
yeah, just going for walks. Other than that, not much at the moment. Trying to
Hmm.
balance work, having time with the kids, my own time where I'm just doing nothing. Yeah, I guess watching TV, if that works.
TV is good. And can I ask what you do?
I'm a social worker.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite involving emotionally as well, which is why I need something different. That's just not talking, and I talk all day as well. So I really don't want to talk when I get home. And I have to talk with the kids and I have to be enthusiastic. So yeah, at times it's just I just want to be, not do anything at all because the
Yeah.
day at work is quite long and hard and stressful at times at the best of times. So
Yeah.
yeah, just something that's a bit quiet.
Yeah.
Or even just having noise in my house but not really getting involved in it works for me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
have you lived in Australia a long time, or?
Yes, I feel like I'm a teenager. If I had a child, it'll be a teenager now. I've been here since 2003.
Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of forgotten what it feels like now. I feel like I'm well and truly here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been
And
a while.
and where were you before? I just find it fascinating, people from other countries, because I'm just here in the United States doing, no traveling or anything. So
Oh, you will one day, even if it's just the States. No, I've come from Zimbabwe, and that's where I'd been my whole life. I had never even really traveled that much in my own country either.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, so I came out here 2003. Just finished high school, had a year off, and my sister was here. She's like, "I'll come along." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come."
Oh, and do you find is there a big quilting community out there? Or?
I'm still trying to get my head around that. I've seen quite a few Aussie quilters, but yeah, that's still something that I'm kind of looking at into as well, what it looks like here.
Mhm.
Because I was just started by myself. I had no idea there's a whole world out there of
Yeah,
quilters and quilting. I've got no idea. I'm still
yeah,
looking into that, but I've come across quite a few.
yeah. Well, that's good.
So, yeah, see.
And fabrics, is it easy to get fabrics and stuff out there, or?
Fabrics. If only I was in America. We've got a nicer choice, a wider variety. No, they are there. Like there are quilt shops, small businesses, quilt shops. We have like a main store as well, a big fabric chain store as well that you can go to. But definitely, fabric wise, I do really wish I was in America because it's nice and cheaper than it is here. But
Mhm.
you do find you find it if you do
Yeah,
your search or wait for good sales. Yeah,
yeah,
be
yeah.
stashed. Yeah, you'll
I know.
find what you want.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah. And
good.
I think I've come from, I used to love print a lot.
Uh-huh.
And once I made my first solid quilt, I was like, oh my goodness, I felt like I'm a painter. I've made something.
Oh,
Yeah, I painted something. I'm like, this is amazing. And now I can't, I've got lots of print fabrics that I don't even know how to use anymore because I'm
oh,
so much into my solids. So
yeah.
yeah, they're quite easy to get, cheaper, nice to play with.
True,
I guess,
true.
yeah, for me, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm okay because I'm not doing a lot of prints as well. And I
Yeah.
think
See,
it's nice
I need to
for,
branch out into solids. I'm like how you were, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll get a couple of solids, and then I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. But I
yeah,
need to.
amazing. I had no idea until I made my first solid color quilt. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I
Yeah.
can do. Like it's just, yeah, solids. Now I'm into solids. I can't see any other way. That's all I want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
Um,
yeah, in those regards, they're quite okay.
so I know that I've never done sewing in curves before, and the Ella Vista quilt has curves and straight lines.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for somebody who, any of the people that are going to be doing your pattern that have never tried curves before?
Yeah, sure. Curves are not as scary as they look. Um, pin Pins are your friends if you're starting out because it stops things from moving and getting distorted. Taking it easy when you're stitching. Don't go 100 miles an hour. Just easy does it. You'll come off the good circle, half circle. And yeah, they're not, and these are big circle, well, slightly big circles, so they're not as finicky as well. You're not going to be, yeah, you're not going to not make it. It will work. Like certainly if you're starting out, use pins, pin ends, middle, like everywhere if you want to. That stops them moving and really stitch slowly. Like that will
Mhm.
help you because they stretch as well. So you don't want them to stretch. You don't want to stretch your fabric as you're sewing. So you really
Yeah.
have to be careful, which is why I think I would recommend pinning. Um, is your best
Okay.
friend when you're starting out until you're comfortable in using less pins or no pins at all. I'll recommend start by pinning your pieces together. Take it slow. I still take it slow. I'm used to
Yeah.
them, but when I'm stitching, I'm really
Mhm.
slow because they tend to shift a bit when you're stitching. So
Yeah.
yeah, pins, pins, pins.
Cool. I
Something
like
like
it.
that.
And I like that. I personally like bigger blocks, and I like that your quilt is going to have the bigger block. So that's,
Yeah,
my preference. I really like that.
Exactly. You quickly, they're done before you know it. They're done before you know it. I tried to make even lesser blocks, but it just wasn't working out. But yeah, the circles, once you stitch them, you'll be like, they're not too bad.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you can do them. They're not scary.
And do you have any other techniques or something that you want to learn that I know besides curves, or is there any other challenging kind of quilting that you've been wanting to give a go?
For me, it's more the finishing it off, the quilting itself, like doing free motion stuff, making it look even more wow. Yeah, the stitching off the three sandwiches together and making a, oh, look at the stitching, that is beautiful. Like I see other quilts and they've got this beautiful, I know I don't have a long arm, but yeah, when I can afford it, I'll be sending them to the long armers, but
Mm-hmm.
being able to do it myself on my own machine is something that I really, really want to learn.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, pattern wise, I don't know. It's just whatever comes is let's do it. If it can happen, let's try
yeah,
and make it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm excited, and I'm so excited that you're here and that we've connected, and I'm excited to be meeting other people in the community, the quilting community, and I think that people are gonna, be really receptive to your design because it is so unique, and um, yeah, it's just really cool. I just love it. I'm like staring at that, and I just love it. I love the hook and pop, but the Ella Vista too.
Thank
So
you. Oh,
unique.
thanks so much. Yeah, it was just like you asked me to do what? Is this for real? So yeah, it's very exciting. I can't wait to see what other people come up with as well, like color wise,
Yeah,
yeah, how they interpret it as well. So it's exciting. It's
yeah.
an exciting journey. Can't wait to
Hmm.
see it as well.
I know, me too. Yay! Oh, well,
Great.
I think that's about it for me. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or that you'd like to say?
Thanks for having me. Hope you enjoy my quilt pattern. There's more to come. Kibs are not as scary as they look or seem, and I hope you enjoy it. Like,
Cool.
I can't wait to see what you come up with, what other people do, or yeah, that's just like, oh, I can't wait. Hurry up
Yeah,
already.
it's exciting.
Yeah, but
Cool.
no, it's been such an honor to be able to do this.
Okay. And I just want to say for people who your Instagram is at
At Lynn's
Lynn's
Avenue.
Avenue,
Yeah,
Lyns Avenue.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's right.
your website is the same,
Same.
www. Lynn's.
.linsavenue.com. Pinterest is the same as well. Yeah, keeping it quite simple.
Okay,
Same as
yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
And I'll like provide that also in the article and with the pattern on the website. So people will
Yeah.
be able
And the
to
pattern
access to it.
has the Instagram and website email
Great.
as well. So yeah,
Cool.
it's up there. But yeah, Lynn's Avenue, quite simple, easy.
Hmm.
No need to think of other. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know
Easy.
where that name came from.
I actually started when I started with Lynn's Avenue. I wanted it to be, I was going to make dresses and whatever will come up, like it's an
Mhm.
avenue, different stops. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good, I like that.
that's
That's
part of
cool.
my name. So yeah, that's how it came up, like Lynn's Avenue. So yeah, I'm quite excited by it. But I think quilting has my heart. I haven't stopped, and that's what I think
Hmm.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
See
I know the feeling. Do so well.
how it goes. Until I'm tired of it, maybe then I'll do the next stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
The time
Okay.
I get bored, do something little, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you so much, Lynn, for being here. And thanks for doing our interview and for being our featured pattern designer. And that's it. We will
That's it.
talk to you soon and we'll see what everybody comes up with.
Yay, can't wait to. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, see ya. Bye.